EZEKIEL 14:4. Haan ko nga ibagaday kwikin ka lang the orasyak. Right? And you know yourself. I don't know you. You know yourself. And you know what you are calling for. You know exactly why God asked you and how God has been talking to you. You know that. Therefore, speak to them. To them. Siya, kung nanakan ni Prophet Ezekiel, you talk to them, you tell the leaders of Israel. Na kayo, amin dito yung leaders kayo. Hanga ga po nga awang tibuyot mo kat hang ka nga leader. Hanga ga po nga, no, I'm not the leader of the band. Amin tayo, leader tayo. Awatan nyo. Kung na dito, therefore speak to them and tell them. This is what the sovereign Lord says. When any of my Israelites set up idols in their heart and put a wicked stumbling block before their face and then go to the prophet and ask, and I, the Lord, will answer them myself and keeping them the great idolatry. Okay. DJ. Nado makadatay mo di ang make up. Diba, ada di ako na nga pahid 1, pahid 2, pahid 3, diba? So nga, ijay Photoshop, dangay ti ko na nga, iso nga ada di jay istorya nga ko na nga, apay si ka ni Junjun, when apay si ka ni Marisamat, hamat nga rin tati itsuram idi jay Facebook. Uray ba si ka? Haamot nga kasati itsuram kasla ka nga karabaw, kuna namot di jay may sa niya. Uray ba si ka kasla ka nga di pukunat, kuna namot di jay may sa niya. Di ti bungan ti pahid 1, pahid 2, pahid 3. Jay ti kuna ni Apodius, you are putting an stumbling block on your own face. Then you go and seek God, what do you want me to do, God? What do you want me to do in my life? Am I doing wrong or I'm doing right? What is your purpose to me? What do you want me to do? So we will go to the Ezekiel chapter 8. Ezekiel chapter 8. The whole chapter, tapno mawatan tayo, nangamong kayong itong namang awat dita. Kararag ko niya, Apo Diyos, mawatan niyo amin tayo ito. Dana awat ako. So grabe isang sangit ko at kini Apo Diyos. Kapsat, nuhan mo nga na-realize, DJ pagkurkurang mo kani Apo Diyos. Na ikit-kitang kani leader, ikit-kitang kani manang, ikit-kitang kani sista, kani brada, kani kamalina DJ nanang kani tatang, kani DJ naglabas mo. You're wasting your time. It is time for us to go to the altar of God. Kuna na dito'y, rugi tayo dyan number 1. In the 6th year, in the 6th month, and the 5th day, while I was sitting in my house, and the elders of Judah were sitting before me, and the hand of the sovereign Lord came upon me. Alright? Yan yung bagana. The 80 Israelite, they were exiled in Babylon. Ano ito ko na? Those that people that do the will of God will become the children of God. But these leaders of Israel were the people who are like us, who went and stay and sit down with the pastor. Sit down. Nagtutugaw na amoy. Tingsiya leader na digisiya niya, hanga kastoy nga agsasawak. Agtutugaw da, at ganda, ekspektaran da noan niya, ibagahan na dijay, Prophet Ezekiel. I saw a figure like a man from what appeared to his waist. He was like a fire. And from there, up to his appearance was a bright glowing metal. I am familiar with this metal. Puso ko na nga. Don't worry, I'm walking with you. Tuwatan nyo. Inga na nga insanglad na siya ijay, kalsada. Na ang ko nga istorya ang tidahol, istorya ta inga na kailang takat fresh ijay nga utak ko. Kuna na ditoy. And he stretched out and what looked like a hand and that pinch and took me by the hair of my head. No makita yung ijay another version. It pinched. Ijay basit lang, inikat na lang ang ijay. Siguro may isang data basit na buok mo. At kunana dito nga, and the Spirit lifted me up between heaven and earth, and the vision of God took me to Jerusalem to the entrance of the north gate in the inner court, where the idol that provokes to jealousy stood. Ne, Apo Diyos in the Spirit, inialala na yung Espiritu na iso nga in the presence of kakastoy, adapay laan ni Ezekiel ng hatutugaw, but his spirit was taken off by God and bring it to Jerusalem into the inner court. The north gate. Something is good about the north gate and something is bad about the north. Kitaan nyo amin ti north and the south. South Africa, where south and the southern is what? I-research yun the south and the north. Ada ito spiritual explanation na bigay. Mas di-develop kan mas bakbak ng the south no the north. Kuna na dito inya. And there before me was the glory of the Lord of Israel, as the vision as I had seen in the plain. And he said to me, Son of man, look to the north. And so I looked to the north, and the entrance of the north gate of the altar, and I saw idol of jealousy. Kaya di ba nakita yung jealousy? Kung nadano ka karong jealousy, bakit mo inilakay mo? Oh, Chris. Pearl. Maging imong ka, sanay pa. Mga dati umas asila. That means there's a trust. That's how it is. To be, wala nang mas asila ka kanila kay na, pakibin na, asawa na di. Wala mo ni Chris, no, ada to mas asila kanila, bakit mo, mga asila diyan. Huh? Oh, then there is a trust. But what I am talking about the jealousy there is when you're going to see the spiritual definition of jealousy is about the imaginary. Imaginary. And we will see further what is inside the heart of the leaders of Israel and what is happening inside the leadership and what is happening to the heart of the people and the Christian today. Iso nga ibagbaga kanya yo, struggle ko rin nga nabayag. Okay, so kung na dito, and he said to me, Son of man, dig into the wall. Kung na in the spirit, yeah. And I dug into the wall and saw the doorway there. 9, and he said to me, go in and see the wicked, detestable thing that they are doing there. Here, kung na ijay, mismo nga templo ni Apo Diyos. So I went and looked, and I saw a portrait all over the walls. Kinds of crawling things, unclean animals, and idols of Israel. Mismo, nga ijay unag, ti puso, kon unag, ti iglesia, bang mangyari, ti haan nga rumbang namang mangyari. A stood of a jealousy idol in the north gate of Israel, in the presence of the temple that is happening. Jealousy ako ni surname sa vlogger. Tapos nalay nga agkanta. Oh. So di ko na niya, look what is happening inside. Hanang ako na nga ijay church lang, ibig ijay puspuso tayo. I make sure, kung nakti panunod po Lord, In everything that I do, sapay ko maapo, tamakay ayukin ka. Di siya ti desire tayo, amin nga. Haa nga di siya paaduan. Gahaman. Agtintinag na greedy. Iso nga kuna na other a lot of creeping inside the temple, inside the heart of the leaders and inside the children of Israel. Kaputa dati agasawa dito. No, ay ayaw itong sunay, bagambanga talaga nga, o kaya di tangar aramidam, bagam mo, it's okay, kung kunang blata. Ano ba ibagam? Ti usto nga ayat di ibagam di kinapudlo. Kuna na dito niya. Let's go back. So I went and looked, and I saw a portrait all over the walls, and the kinds of crawling animals and unclean animals, all the idols of Israel. I want the idol to Israel. It's from Egypt, and for everything that is coming out. Tinapnapananda, nga na-exile anda. Amo yun o apay, na na-exile lagi ti Israelites. Because it is the means, the ends of the means. See? As dyan ni Apo Diyos, the ends of the means in order for us to stop us to do what is not necessary. Kahit nung nagtatal na niya, pastor, yung hangag sa sao, meaning, ada inaramid yun. Ha? Nung nagtatal na hindi ka disturbuan. Oh, kung na dito, in front of them stood 70 elders, and Jaazaniah, the son of Shaphan, standing among them. Each had a censer in their hand, and fragrant cloud in the censing was arising. Amo yung DJ ko, mo pang ka-ijay simbanat. Kung na niya palit mo na. Kas-kasta na kayo pagdati ko. Kas-kasta na. Di ay sa katanay. Sino tita kata dyan dito? Amo yun ni Father Dumanghe? Yan. Ni Father Dumanghe, di kanta na launin nga niya nganin in love ako niya ako, Diyos ko naman. Tang! Una na rin DJ kwa, DJ, ano na DJ? DJ kampana mo, DJ kampana mi DJ bangnin. Nuwag nga inkasta na DJ, manggag mo DJ bilang. At kung na iti anisig to me, son of man, have you seen the elders doing in the darkness? Hello? Nga sakti ang sasao. Tauray idi inawat ko daytoy nga surat kanya ako Diyos. Mabaina. Anak Lord, I think you are talking to me. You don't talk to me, no? You're including me. You talk to them. Nakang ko nga ibaga nga, isudati elders. Hello. And again, he said them, doing things even more detestable. Then he brought me into the enter of the north gate of the house of the Lord, and I saw a woman sitting there mourning the god of Tammuz. That is the goddess of Babylon. Sino? Ti pagsangsangita na launa dagiti barugong tayo. Idolizing anyone. Kaya't nga sawan iti idolizing, you put on priority, ijay talaga nga aramidan. No ni Apo Diyos. Self-explanatory datoy. I beg you to go home and read it yourself. And I believe that God will give you the revelation for yourself just the way He gave it today. At kung na ito'y ay nanitamos. Kung na dito'y then he said to me, in the inner court of the Lord, and there in the entrance of the temple, between the portico and the altar, were about the 25 men. with their back toward the temple of the Lord, toward back, tinalikudan diya templo ni Apo Dios, and their face toward the east, and bowing down to the sun of the east. Ay natisan, Japan is being cursed because Japan worship the sun. Where is the east? We are in the east. Japan is the rising sun, and they worship the sun. What are you worshiping in your heart? Siguro ko na, madikon nga Kristiyano, takas tagayan ti mga mangyari. Worst. But I learned in a hard way to evaluate myself. And I learned in a hard way to come on my bended knee to God and ask God for evaluation. Iso nga adda diya kanta ni David nga kuna nga, search me, oh God, and know my heart. Diba? Iso nga nagkanta. Amin tayo kailangan nga ampon tayo dagitoy nga banag. Because there is nothing and there is nowhere for us to go. Han mo nga makontrol ni lakay mo. Han mo makontrol di anak mo. Han mo makontrol ni bakit mo. Han mo makontrol ni nanang mo. Iso nga every day you have to come on your bended knee. Because even in one click of 1 minute, in 1 second, something is going to happen. Every day, every time, it reminded you, come before God right away. Don't say no. Or han mo pala ang tawagan, kunamlaangan, Lord, what will I do? What can I do? I just pray for the protection. Keep on and talk to God about it. That's what I do. How many couples that I have to go through with it? Put them back together. And I'm not even married in it, even when in a relationship. How many couples that I put it back? That God has been using me for that. And I thank God that I was an instrument for this. There are times that I have to really get angry with a woman. And I have to just discommunicate with it. Haana ka makitungtong, di kasi nga tao. But I have to put the attention of this. Talaga nga disipulong din siya eh. Listen to what they say. What the man is pouring out. Mga karkaro tayo ti nagana obra. Taan di bang account mo, dakdakkel mo sika. Kunang pala. Yaman mo sika ti dakdakkel ti bang account na nila kayo mo. Kondisyon na ka niya. Tas si kadi jay tao, ngano kung baga ti Kabiti. O jay Kabiti? So ti iburod dito. Ti Kabiti, si kadi jay tagapagpulak, si jay abot na naabot ang tahangapan agyan ti utot. Tamak, kung baga, no itilugan, kanso. Tapnuhaan nga, madisgrasya di driver mo. Think of it. Helper ko na naisa ko ni Apo Diyos eh. Yeah, kung na nga head ka ba? No, it's it. Help. Katulong. Kasyay. Talaga nga inaalada ka, ijay ribs na ako mo. Ana, rik na aman no, ay nakabanda nga rib na kurangkin ka. Ha mo, ibabaga ko, ay nakabanda, kurang ka makanikid makanaman.
Pumalik na ya.
Sino tinurs dito eh? No, ijay paragpag na ito'y makanikid ng alalat niya is close to the heart. So mga oran no, anya arabi ng ijay nilaki, anya kami kita ngayon sa asawan. Mga ayate nagarot ha, close to the heart. Minsan kat dati ko akat ko na. Kanya kami din nakikita mo ka ni DJ. Sika. Talaga nga ka dyan. Ikas na mga saan mo makaungat ka, di ba? Hamo nga nakita rin niya yung ugali na. Kuna na. Ha, ang gamin nga nagparparang. Girlfriend ka pa.